Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's Auto Rays. I've recorded these videos all at once, but I think I'm gonna break it down. I'm breaking it up. So I did I put the pistons back in, put the crankshaft on, new rod bearings, all that, and that's what you're gonna see now is me installing the pistons, putting the new piston rings on first, and checking gap and clearances, all that, new bearings, and then possibly uh, installing the camshaft too in this video. So we're just gonna get right into it. I got my new camshaft here. Gonna put some Simile lube on this thing and try not to bang it up as I put it in there. I've read that grease is good. Assembly grease is good for engines that you're rebuilding that's not going to be installed in the vehicle right away, I guess. I don't know, I just read that somewhere because this engine be rebuilt and not installed into the truck for at least maybe a month or so once the rebuild's done. But we'll see. I feel like I want a little bit more. Okay, cam is installed. Okay, so cam in there now. We can put the plate back on it. So see here. I believe it went. There. Tighten these down. I couldn't find any torque specs, so I'm just gonna tighten them snug and should be good to go. Alright, so now it's time to put the timing chain back on. I got a new timing chain. Showers replaced these. I just went with the factory, like a standard replacement at Cell Power. It was pretty cheap. New gears, chain, but before we can install these, we have to get the engine set to top dead center, so let's go do that. Alright, so for setting the engine top dead center, it is your number one piston should be at the highest point in its stroke, so it should be at the very top. So we have the bolt for the crank here, it's bolted in here, and we're going to rotate it to this piston, number one, which if you're standing in front of the engine, it would be on your right, the first one on your right, standing in front of the engine, looking at it. So let's get this rotated to let's add number one. And you want to rotate this clockwise, don't, and like as the correct way the engine's supposed to rotate, clockwise, don't go counterclockwise. Top of its stroke. And that looks pretty good there. Do it one more time to make sure. There we go. I like that. So let's go back to the front and we'll get this timing chain and all that installed. Alright, so we're gonna install the gears. Just line it up with the keyway thing there. It should just slide on really easy. Right now we're just gonna get lined up because we gotta rotate it and make sure they're in a position before we put the chain on. So let's just come on. Alright. Now for the top one. Excuse me. Alright, so let's see if I can you guys see it. Alright, so each of these ones has like a tiny little indentation, like a dimple, and they need to line up correspondingly with this one and that one. Well, this actually looks pretty lined up. If I get a straight edge or something. And it looks pretty lined up. Oh yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. I'm gonna show you guys this. Get my glove off. Alright. So there's a little mark there, and you just want to come down here and line it up so they're both in the same position, which they are. So that's good. So now let's take it off, put chain on, and then we'll be good to go. Perfect. That's pretty good slack there. This is just a stock replacement chain. This is not a what do you call it, double roller chain. I thought that might be a little too excessive for this mild stock engine, so I just opted for the stock replacement. So secure this cam bolt. And you're gonna torque this down to 30 foot-pounds. So let me get a torque wrench. Alright, so I got my new oil pump here. The old oil pump worked fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you know, I'm a firm believer of just changing it while you're in there. So I got my new one here, factory stock replacement. Before I install it, I'm gonna pop this cover off and just put a little bit of Insibly lube inside, just to, since it's all bone dry, just to help it out a little when it first cranks up. So let me get those popped off. Now you don't have to do this, but it does not hurt. Yeah, we're just gonna just put a little grease down inside here. Just to help it out. That first initial start up there. And let's put this plate back on here. Perfect. Perfect. Let's get this installed on the car. We gotta flip the engine back over. Alrighty. So we'll put that there. Slide this down into here. Everything. All the way down in there. Oh, my gasket moved on me. Alright, hold on. Get our bolts threaded in. Okay, so now we're gonna torque these down to 30 foot-pounds. Go. Oil pump installed. We'll get this oil pan on now. So, I am not a professional, first time, and of course, I forgot a step again. Forgot to put the oil pump pickup screen back on. So, we're gonna remove the oil pump, install the pickup tube, put it back on. Nobody's perfect. Let's get to it. Alright, so put a little bit of thread locker on here. Go ahead and install this. Alright, let's go get this set back on the block, and then we'll adjust this some more. Alright, so we got to measure from the surface edge to the bottom of the block to make sure our oil pickup pump is like in a good position. We'll do measuring tape. Alright, here goes my tape. I need a straight edge. Alright, we use this. Let's see where we at. About almost 9.5 inches. Yeah, about 9.5 inches. Alright, let's go back to the block. Okay, so now we're going to measure from the surface to the screen. And we should have a 1/8 inch, according to the manual, clearance for good proper sitting at about 7.5 inches. Yeah, so I'm gonna scoot it down just a little bit. A little bit more. And I think I'm happy with that. Alright, so I got my front engine cover here. I got my new seal, got the gasket set. And before we put this on, we'll put some, what do you call it? Loctite. We'll put some Loctite around here and around the edge, so the seal never pops out or come loose or anything. So, here. There we go. Tight there. Get this flat. Pressed in there a little bit. Now I don't have a seal installer, what you want to call it, so we just go the old-fashioned way. Block of wood, get it flat, and a hammer. Alright, we'll move this to the floor. Alright. Push down really tight. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's fully in there. A few more wax. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, so we're going to take some gasket maker, put it all along the surface here. I'm going to do this on this and on the block. go get our gasket. And these are gonna get torqued down to 30 foot-pounds. And there we go. Alright, timing cover is on there. Just these two bolts, because the other ones go through the water pump housing and all that stuff. So now we can get the oil pan on. I'm gonna put some gasket maker here at these creases with oil pump, like got a little crease there. So yeah, let's get that. So we're going to torque this down to 215 inch-pounds. Start in the center and just do a zigzag direction. Alright, that's it for today's video. We got the pan on, bolted up. I think the next video we'll probably get to the cylinder heads and some miscellaneous stuff, like the put the oil filter thing back on, put the oil pump drive shaft back in, and yeah, we're pretty much almost done with this thing. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, follow me on Instagram at autorays_YT, and I'll catch you guys at the next video.